But when I started, it was still about, we were still trying to answer the question why, right? Like why video and convince and so on. That narrative in 3 short years has completely changed to, I know I got to do video, but I don't know how to get started. Yeah.
There's still so many people not implementing, not starting on video. And why do you think that is? And what's a quick win? What's a quick way people can get started?
Yeah, I think so. I've been doing this for about 3.5 years. And when I started, I mean, the company is older than that, about 8 years now. And but when I started, it was still about, we were still trying to answer the question why. Right, like why video and convince and so on. That narrative in 3 short years has completely changed to, I know I got to do video, but I don't know how to get started. And so I think that answers your question in that if people aren't adopting, it's not because they don't want to, they just maybe don't know how, and they don't know how to get started, right? And but maybe what they don't realize is there's so many ways to get started in a very easy way. So my tip in that, like what's a nice little takeaway in there is just take advantage of the tools that are out there in front of you. Like for any HubSpot listener right now that's in Pro or Enterprise, HubSpot Video is there, and HubSpot Video is free. Yes. And HubSpot Video offers a lot of value in that free platform, and it's a foundation to get you started. And if you are currently utilizing something like a YouTube to power your entire video strategy, then I would encourage you to, a great place to start is get onto the free product of HubSpot Video and start to see some of the advantages that an online video platform will give and provide. YouTube should always be a part of your strategy. It shouldn't be the only strategy right now. So video strategy has evolved over the last 8 years. And really, there's so many benefits to adopting an online platform. So tip number 1 is use the free tools that are out there and get started and start to see some of those benefits that you're going to realize over controlling the customer journey, non-competitive content, converting them, having more opportunities to convert people, help them raise their hands, keep them longer on your website. All these things, having a fully controlled journey, all these things are going to be in your hands if you start using them. So
yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, you've talked about the hosting side. What about the sort of the hardware side? What's the quickest route to market from a filming and audio point of view? Have you got any tips for the viewers there?
Yeah, we actually have we just actually released a really good guide around that. Okay. Like the whole, how do you get started? And that was because we were receiving this question so much. Yeah. So we've got a wonderful guide, and maybe we can put it on, or you can have some. That'd be a great thing to download. But I would say, video has also come a long way and matured in that it used to be a big black box and be expensive, and people didn't know where to start. People didn't always thought it was a sort of a magical black art, right? And people also thought that they had to create it like Super Bowl quality. And what we're seeing now is that video can be created in so many different ways for so many different applications through the entire funnel. We've actually got really good guides and processes around if you're filling the funnel here, then you should have the X quality, X amount of time, X amount of spend. Okay. So that helps you guide things. But at the end of the day, video creation can be done for $0. It can be done for a lot of dollars. And when I say $0, you can start to take your iPhone or whatever it might be and shoot 4K video, get a tripod, $20-30 of equipment, and you're up and running. That's a great way to get started on doing some subject matter expert and maybe getting your staff on camera, getting them used to the camera, producing some equipment, producing some content, and just getting started with some subject matter expertise. And the great thing about that kind of content is you can slice and dice those up for social. Yeah. You can push them out there in many channels. And to be honest, what it does is it's very authentic. Yeah. It's not scripted. It doesn't feel produced. And people like the authenticity. People sometimes like the more grittiness of it. And it also exposes your staff's personality, right? Like every company has a story. Every company really believes in its people, but we don't have a mechanism to get that shown, right? To really portray that. Who am I dealing with, right? Who am I doing business with? That kind of content does wonders for helping with your brand and getting people understanding who they're really dealing with.
Yeah, I love that. I love the fact that it's not just for your marketing funnels, it's for internal teams as well. I remember probably around about 5 years ago, before we had video as a service, a girl used to work with me, Hannah, and she had a Mini, and she went to the Mini garage and it went in for a service, and I remember coming in the next day and she said, "Mark, look at this," and she pulled up on her laptop, and it was literally the service person servicing the Mini, talking her through what she'd done, and sent that to Hannah. And that was 5 years ago.
Wow.
And I think, wow, that's when iPhone's video wasn't too good as well. And how advanced is someone like Mini doing that back then, and how cheap and how easy is it to do now? We do similar things, you know the kind of things we do. Very similar. And it's just for you guys to adopt the same methodology of just pull out your iPhone, and if you're doing a web project, or just say, oh, this is where we're at, these are the developers, and just ping it over. It's so cheap, so easy.
I couldn't agree more. And it is, kind of just get started. Maybe it was just a tech that did it on his own, or maybe it was a coordinated effort. But just get started. I mean, I never heard of that example. That's amazing.
Yeah. So
I would be glued to that. Yeah. I'd be buying minis. That's amazing.
You spend all that money on servicing. Like, have they really done anything now? If car mechanics are doing it now, geez, everyone should be.
And this is a really good point, because I think a lot of trust has been lost in the profession of sales, and there's other stigmas that go along with mechanics or other things like that. Trustworthiness,
SEO.
And
they're really doing our SEO.
Are they really doing it right? Exactly. And if you have that level of access through video in that way, and you get to show somebody that, I mean, how much more trust is that person going to leave? How much more of a relationship is that person going to have? How much more of a fan are they going to be? And I mean, to be honest, if we're all making fans at the end of the day, that's probably your best sales agent right there. So
I agree.
I love it. And just get started with it, and you'll see good things happen. Right.
I'd like to dig a bit deeper then. So we talked around about marketing, but I want to swing back to, you mentioned the top, middle and bottom of funnels. I'd like to discuss in a minute about different types of videos to fit them. But while we're still on this subject, you've mentioned internal servicing. What other areas in our business can we use video? Have you got any other ideas?
So sales teams are absolutely crushing it with video, and using it in their outreach, using it in their proposals, using it in their handoff to say, okay, now you're a customer, you've made the right decision, here's your next team. And Success are using it to help close support tickets a whole lot faster. Success are using it in their knowledge base so they can deflect more calls, and ultimately the ROI on that is that you're deflecting all those questions away from very expensive resources, and you're being able to answer those. And it's just a better customer experience. Show somebody rather than tell somebody. That's going to be a better overall experience all the time. So those are some of the other areas in which people are using it.
Yeah, and I think we do a lot of training from your website. One thing we got off you guys is what Caroline uses in our sales team. So she has a whiteboard which costs around about £10 from eBay. Yeah, and she'll write the client's name on there. Like, so, hi Rob. And she'll stand and she'll just do a quick intro. We pre-made the Meet the Team video, where we'll connect that to the beginning, and then the beauty of Vidyard is it can create an animated GIF from a series of that video. So when Caroline sends that to the client, there's a little animated GIF of Caroline with the client's name pointing, and then they follow up, watch the video, and the fact that they get to meet everyone within the business. Yeah, it's about that human-to-human interaction. So that's one thing we've stole from you guys in a way, but I know that's why you put it out there.
Good, yes.
From you, and we're converting more business because of video. So I just wanted not to show off, just to say this stuff really works and it's working for us.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, and we did. It started off with an internal need, and then we saw the results of that, and we turned it around as a product. So, but at the end of the day. Inboxes are crowded, and we have way less attention span than we ever had. And when somebody is sifting through a very crowded inbox, and it's like delete, text, and then boom, somebody waving and somebody's face, it's a huge pattern interrupt, and you get attention that way. And not only that, people ultimately buy from people. So when they see a face and they see somebody, whether they know it or not, they're making immediate judgments on things like believability, trustworthiness. Do I want to spend time with that person? Are they worthy of spending more time? And you can't get that across. You lose all of that instinctual nonverbal communication and the way we operate as human beings if you don't use video in that way. So it really, you're putting yourself at a huge disadvantage if you're not capturing the nonverbal communication aspect of that. So once they see that, we've often heard, it's like, I was just compelled to respond. And we're seeing across the board, and the data really proves it. You're going to get a 25% higher response rate as a result of it. HubSpot saw a 4x increase in their conversion. So the data supports it all. And the psychology and the human nature behind it just suggests that it has to work. And if you're not using it, you are losing. You're behind. You got to be using it.
I think we know that. I think there's still so many businesses out there. I don't know the stat, but it's ridiculous. Is it 1% of businesses using video? Why not? There's obviously something stopping people. So I want to pick your brains to try and accelerate that learning. Another thing we're doing, which has really helped, is we're talking off camera earlier. I went to an event the other year by a gentleman called Jim Quick about the brain learning. And he said that 80% of what we learn at events, or 80% of what we hear in calls, the human brain will forget over a 1 month period. So one thing we've introduced over the last 6 months is like Zoom calls, or soon to be the Vidyard. The Vidyard calls, and we keep an audit trail of every call with our clients now. So if they forget stuff, or if our team forgets stuff, or we have to hand over, we've got the full audit trail of every single call, and that's helped us so much over the last 6 months as well.
Absolutely. I think that's a really good area where that's not serviced right now. Is at the end of the day, video is becoming a core piece of not just something that you do, but it's a core piece of the transaction audit and record between two parties. And if you're using it from marketing to sales to support, you need a mechanism in which you can retrieve that information and see what was said, and have an idea of the words that were said, have it be searchable and so on. So I think there's a really big area to grow this into, and have video as a part of your overall record inside of your CRM, and have it searchable just like any other text and so on. And that's just only going to help things down the road. Like if a new account manager comes in and they get to watch a bunch of video on exactly what the customer did, what they said, how they interacted, what their mannerisms were. I mean, imagine the handoff and the ability to really get to know somebody before you even have a word with them. And imagine, it's like there's always like dips and peaks and valleys in experience and stuff, because somebody's new and you gotta you gotta train them. We gotta learn who they are and what's going on, and it's just so much wasted time.
I agree. It's that
I'm talking all kinds of futures and stuff, but that's where it's going, right?
For hours and hours and hours. Everything reverts back to video. If you've got a process what's repeatable, in the old days we used to stick copy in a wiki, and now it's just before we partnered with you guys, we used to use a piece of software called Loom. So we'd record it and put an iframe in there. It's so much easier for our teams to watch that video rather than training through content after content. Let's talk about ROI. There's a lot of in-house marketers here. All this video stuff's great. What evidence have you got now that this stuff really works? Have you got any recent case studies or anything? For sure. I mentioned HubSpot earlier, but one that's really good, and one that I like to share because we see this as a growing trend is there's a company called Gordian, and Gordian they won one of our we have a video and business awards every year. They produced a series of videos and content to answer the question of what they do, and it's job order contracting. And job order contracting in the construction world, it's a hard thing to either explain, or it's kind of like something I'd be like, really. So what they did is they generated a 4-part series,
and they put that on as the sort of the lead to when you want to know about job order contracting, you land here, right? And it walks them through the basics. What is it?
Okay.
Right? How do we address it? And at each stage, each video, you have an opportunity to download some more useful content, to raise your hand and say, I'm ready to talk. I understand now, and I understand what you guys do and the value of that. And it goes through a 4-part series. We're really seeing the rise in 2019. We're seeing the rise of like episodic content or content in a series. And at the end of the day, the one program in about 6 months' time generated $25 million in pipeline and $6 million in revenue.
Wow.
From this one campaign that was entirely video driven and based.
And you've tracked everything back ROI to them
Exactly.
videos. There's no other third parties in, but it's just completely back.
They fill in their information around what they want to do and see, and then it unlocks the video, and they watch it, and so you have all the information. As soon as you have that, you're tracking against them. You understand how they're engaging with it, and you can track it back to the opportunity. You can track it back to the sales cycle, and it's all nicely packaged. So they were absolutely able to do that.
Just because I'm interested in what kind of... Was this really high-end video? Was it $100,000 budget to break this in for us, or is it just a case of iPhone, or was it just a videographer there? What kind of level with this series? Just so the viewers, it all sounds great, but how much are we going to have to spend or invest putting this together?
Yeah, no, I love that question. It's really, really important. No, so the answer is it was well-produced content. It was a combination of some animation, some B-roll, talking over, got some talk over on it. All stuff that a lot of people can do, even in-house, even if they've got some capability in-house, or fairly cheaply. So, the return on that is that spend is like, it's a no-brainer. But so no, it wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot of money, and it's just, it's well done, but it's not like each one of those videos you're going to be spending $30,000 to do each one of those. Not at all. Okay, cool. Not at all.
It's something on our roadmap we haven't touched on yet, especially with you guys. It's on our roadmap. We discussed it early, but personalization, everything's going down that route. And the fact that you can sign up on a website and a video gets sent to your inbox, and your name, if you open a book, your name's there, your name could be checked on a wall, all your personal details are actually integrated into this live video. I think it's fantastic. So well excited.
Absolutely. And we've seen a lot of great use cases in like higher ed for sure. So like recruiting a student. One of the first ones we did was our local University of Waterloo, and they had a recruitment target, and they deployed personalized video. And basically that video was like, hey, you've applied to and been accepted to this university, and a lot of times at least in Canada, you've got acceptance from many different universities. So you're trying to decide. And what they did was, hey, you've been accepted. We can't wait to have you here. And let's get you over that line and make that decision like concrete. And so they sent a video as kind of like, here's what to expect when you get here, right? Here's your first day. All those nerves and all those things that the student doesn't even know. And maybe they haven't even seen some of the things. So it walked them through like them driving up into the university and what that looks like, and coming to the dorm and seeing your room, and their name is on the room, and then and it's like they're already there, and it's like, here's all your stuff, and it's put in your room. And then what's the nightlife look like, what's the facilities look like, what are the team things going on, and showing all of that. And one of the unintended outcomes of that is that the target was the student, to help them make their mind up. But what it actually ended up doing was influencing heavily the parents. And the parents are really a big part of that decision, part of the decision team, if you call it, for lack of a better word. But they're big time into that decision. So it was like influencing the parents as well. And they hit like 173% of their recruiting goal. Like it was just through the roof. So
That's good. We've got a large university in our books, as you know, one of our clients. So I'm going to swipe and deploy that idea and pitch that to them as well. I think that'll work well.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So if it's proven, and that's where I won't mind you sending me that case study.
I'll send you the case study. Yep.
We can send that over to these guys and hopefully set up a deal.
You bet.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
You bet.
Before we wrap up, then trends for 2019 for yourself and Vidyard. Anything new? What's happening for the rest of the year?
Yeah. So a couple things. I think the video in series, you're going to see a lot more of that. And it really is, it's the ability now for a B2B marketer to take advantage of the Netflix watching culture.
Yes.
And if you can if you can drop video content as a series and get people binge watching and engaging in content, thank you, Netflix. It's great. Yeah. Now let's borrow that into B2B
really
and leverage that kind of behavior that's already existing in the B2C space. So you'll see that. You'll see a massive wide adoption, much more already. It's already started, but video in sales. All the numbers are there. It is one of the fastest growing areas that we see. So you're going to see more and more of that, and more uses. And what's interesting in there is that the best practice around that is getting really tight and really fine tuned, data driven best practice in that. So it's a lot of fun there. And then I think the one that is coming quickly and could be one of the largest areas is support, and how much better the customer experience is when you have video supporting the support team and answering questions and keeping that level of customer satisfaction high, answering questions faster, deflecting cost. So if you think about it, if we just sort of wrap up on this thought, maybe is video drives pipeline in your marketing programs. Video helps accelerate the close of revenue in that. And video helps the bottom line with taking costs out of the business by making that support department operate more efficiently and deflect more calls. So your video is building your top line and improving your bottom line all at the same time.
You're delighting the client, you're retaining clients longer, just everything. It's back to the flywheel methodology.
Back to the flywheel. Wrap up on the flywheel. You bet. It's the full customer life cycle. And the idea of that is they will be your fans, and those fans will be your next sales department, really, at the end of the day. So.
Okay, I've got one more question for you.
Sure.
I know we've got loads of information out there. If you could leave the viewers with one quick tip or practical takeaway, I don't know if you give them all away, but have you got anything else you can leave the viewers with? Any practical takeaways?
Yeah. So I think to wrap up again on some of those ideas earlier that I mentioned, one of the things I always say is just truly just get started. The more you wait is the more lost opportunity. Yeah. And it's easier than ever to start. And so leverage the free tools, get started, start internally, start feeling comfortable with it. They're easier than ever to start shooting video, taking video, even little snippets of video and content. The costs and access have come down so low that there really isn't a barrier and there isn't an excuse anymore. So really just get started. And you will immediately, it's sort of a day one value return on your investment and value in your time, right? You will start to see immediately the positive that comes out of that day one. So get started, and there's all kinds of ways to do that, and it's really simple.